Oh man, I had a rough night last night. I think I got up at like 3 in the afternoon after going to sleep about, I want to say 8, almost 9 in the morning. That was a good stick ham too. I thought that was interesting. Never had that happen before. And actually, earlier, before I got up, basically I had a dream where I was in a car with math fails, someone that I know, and another person, and I suggested that we all stick ham in the car, but it's more like reality stick ham, you know what I mean? Why don't we just have a regular conversation, like, together? We're physically in the presence of each other, why don't we just have a conversation? It was amazing. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was time, because that was something that came up last night, and I don't think I got the point across very well, and I think it's something that's, as far as our ability to appreciate it, it's kind of an interesting, if not important, idea, way of thinking about time, way of interpreting time. Okay, matters changing, state of changing, no matter whether or not it is a regression or a progression, there's still a progression going on, irrespective of the concept of complexification. There's still a changing happening, and that changing is complexification. No matter whether or not it is increasing in its complicatedness, it's still a complexification, and it's from the subjective perspective that the object is then made complex at all. It's relative. So, you know, that's I guess what I wanted to say about that. But it's so much more complicated, or it's so much more deep than what I'm presenting, because at least I think so. I mean, I may be thinking too much about trying to get it expressed, but it is kind of a reality has to be taken into consideration, not the separate parts themselves, I guess. Relative to reality, matter will die and then be reborn, but if it does die, or when it does die, it's still a part of, it's still in the record, as it were. There's still something above the consciousness that may die or not, and at that point that consciousness is what will contain the death and life of that universe, and by that I mean remember, in a way, or retain. So it's still there. And the other thing is, this moment is a constant state of building, and the moment itself is a testament to itself, because it's this moment, Egypt, and this moment is a testament to Egypt because of how awesome it was, and this moment is because of its progression, ultimately, because this moment is a singularity. It's growing. It is growing. This moment is always growing. That's the nature of infinity, is that it's always growing. And no matter whether or not it fades away again, it's still going. Like if we think in terms of the flowers that are that grow during the seasons, if we were to keep all of those flowers that died, it would be a constant. It would build up and build up and build up and build up. Well, reality does that for itself, irrespective of us. It's still there. The memory of those flowers is still exists, and that's where the infinite progression happens. Even if the universe dies, it's still a progression, because reality itself is outside of the matter. The matter is the flower, and reality itself is us keeping the flowers. It's always there. It's always in the bank, the memory bank, as it were. Not saying necessarily that there is memory, that there will be a remembrance of those things at all, but ultimately they are recorded. And so because they're recorded, the building of that ultimate recording is infinite. And so it's continuously building. It's continuously progressing. The notion that it dies and therefore it must be reducing doesn't matter whether it is reducing or not, which ultimately it is, but still it's still complexifying even though it's reducing. Yeah. So that's the point. It's not. You can't not complexify. You can't not increase. This is a constantly increasing event. There's no decreasing in this. You can't decrease the complexity. The whole thing is one moment increasing constantly. Even if the universe dies and is reborn, it is a new step into a higher complexity. It's just it's just a transition into a greater awesomeness. That's all it is. And we may be one in many repetitions of this frequency of birth and death for the universe. But the point is, it's never reduced. Complexity is always increasing, and I mean that objectively. The reality is always increasing, always, because it has a propensity towards that innately, and especially the material aspect, and it may also in the subjective aspect. It may well be, and if it is, then we will be feeling the effects of that. We will be feeling the effects of that, or we do feel the effects of that. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say, and I think that does it, as it were. But if you don't get it, don't worry about it. I get it. So it doesn't matter whether anyone else does. Okay. Say goodbye to all the stick-hand people. God damn, fuck. Anyway, wish you all well. Good day.